thou wilt. Thou canst make me clean.
I will. Be thou clean.
You know, when you look at Jesus Christ, he was the master teacher, the master healer. As we study the scriptures and prayerfully look at our own characteristics, that we've gotten better on helping students to identify what their own divine potential is and how they can build upon that to provide the type of care that they envision they would like to provide, but also one that our Savior would provide.
The beauty of nursing is that it is both a science and an art. And what we emphasize at this college is the healer's art. And we try to exemplify that and to teach the healer's art by putting out nurses who can use Christ as an example of caring for individuals.
One of the aspects that I thoroughly enjoy in teaching is coming to know these BYU students and to give them more than a nursing education. I've had the opportunity of taking 11 to 12 nursing students to the southern state of Tamil Nadu, India. We have the opportunity to go out to the leprosy colonies and to actually dress some of the wounds of the leper-affected patients who are living there. I saw one of my students that was very intent and with sweat dripping down her face and looking just at that wound and just at that foot and the instruments that she was working with. So I reached down to her and reminded her that now was the time that she needed to look up into the eyes of that patient and seeing them as a child of God and not just a wound at the end of the foot.
One of the things I enjoyed when I was attending BYU was the fact that they focused not only on learning about the science behind nursing, but that they always emphasized that for true healing, it was necessary that you had other things in your care, things like encouragement and caring and empathy for patients, and sometimes just stopping and listening to what they needed. Over the years, I've had some opportunities to have experiences with some of them that are dear to my heart. As I've watched families go through difficult times, I've seen children who've passed away and families who've had to learn to deal with that. And it's been a great opportunity to try to help them as they have gone through this experience.
Here I was expecting to have a 2-month maternity leave and be home with my little baby girl, and I certainly didn't expect it to take this turn. When we got into that office and Sue-Ann put the stethoscope on her chest, I could tell immediately that something was wrong, and she took it off and she put it back on, and then she said, you know, your baby's heart is beating really fast. And so she put a little machine on her and it told us how fast it was beating, 250, I think, beats a minute. And she said, your daughter's having an SVT attack, and we need to have her actually admitted into the hospital. And it was just a complete shock. I thought it was so sweet. She had a waiting room full of patients, but she said that she was going to walk over with us and make sure that she got admitted, okay? And I will never forget that long walk down the corridor over to the hospital, carrying our newborn, and with Sue-Ann with us, and walking into that hospital room, and there were immediately 20 doctors and nurses surrounding her, and we were so confused and so scared by the whole episode of it all. But Sue Ann stayed right there and made sure that everything was going okay and that Mackenzie was stable. And Kevin and I just stood off to the side and watched for what seemed like an eternity, watching all of these medical professionals taking care of our 2-week-old and scared to death and fearful of what was to come and if she would be okay and if she would ever be a healthy little girl, and it was scary. Mackenzie is now 11. She just started 6th grade. She's just a great little girl and healthy and growing into a wonderful young lady. I just can't tell and express the value of a good nurse. To know that these nurses are trained and able to diagnose and help treat us and our children in an effective manner, I just can't say what a difference they make in the lives of their patients.
My name is Tom Olds. I'm the President and CEO of Generations Healthcare. We own and operate 18 facilities throughout the state of California, primarily focused on skilled nursing and rehabilitation. Getting quality nurses is a very big thing. You know, the demand for nursing is growing, and particularly nursing into the elderly population is growing dramatically. So it was just a natural combination for me to seek out the BYU School of Nursing, where I know their ethics, I know their philosophy, and I know the quality of education that they'll get. And in the last couple of years, we've really made a concerted effort to hire from BYU.
What made me want to be a nurse practitioner was interacting with graduates of BYU's program. Their competence and their confidence really impressed me. They obviously liked what they were doing. They obviously felt confident doing it. They knew how to take care of their patients, and they wanted to do the absolute best they could for each person. And I wanted to be just like that. My BYU experience was everything I hoped for and more. It wasn't just the best education as a nurse practitioner that you could get, but I was in with wonderful classmates, great instructors, and in a very unique place.
The importance and power of good educators to teach our students is really the future of nursing. And that's really the legacy that we leave, is those students that we mentor.
Our students carry a very important spirit about them. And it does give me hope that our nurses that graduate from this program will continue to carry forward and be very good nurses in both the science and the art of nursing.